got interviews with you on ESPN saying Keith Thurman is a tougher fight than Errol Spence Jr., man.
Always believe in to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Spence is not the man at 147.
Who's the man?
Keith Thurman.
Based on resume.
Keith Thurman.
I don't know about that. What?
Keith Thurman is the man at 147. And to be the man, you got to beat the man. He's number one welterweight right now.
Keith Thurman fights Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence is going to beat him.
You don't know that.
Spence never really wanted it. You don't ever really want it. Say what you want to say. I have no interest in the Crawford fight. It does not interest me. They might find a way to interest me. They can entice me. But I've never felt that interested. Two things about you talking about me, bud, okay? There's two things. Thing number one, the year that they wanted me to fight you was the year that I was supposed to fight Pacquiao, and everybody knew why I didn't fight you. Okay. I have no interest in the Crawford fight. Okay. Now after the Barrios fight, I was all ready to fight you. I have no interest in the Crawford fight. You're the one who just doesn't want somebody to have a tune-up, shake off the dust, keep everything moving. You a stay busy fighter, kid. What do you got? 40 wins? I got 10 less fights than you, homie. I have no interest in the Crawford fight. We come from the same Olympic year, bro. I could have fought you any day of the week after February last year, bro. It does not interest me. They might find a way to interest me. We could have fought in July, August, September, October, period. And you did fight in October. You did fight in October. You fought some nobody that we didn't care about, bro. So, look, man, I'm not mad at him, you know.
So Keith Thurman says that Spence never wanted it and Terrance Crawford never wanted it. Is that right? So Keith Thurman says that Terrance Crawford never wanted it. See, at the end of the day, they just got to stop with all these games. Everybody know what Keith Thurman was doing. Keith Thurman at one point in time was the man. Everybody know he's playing keep away with Errol Spence. That's what originally turned people off from Keith Thurman. Everybody accused Keith Thurman of clogging up the division, not giving fans what they want, this, that, and the third. The only time you are ready to see these guys willing to give you the fights that you want to see is when these guys' money run low. You know what I'm saying? They get in a pinch or they see a big meal ticket, you know what I'm saying, pop up on the radar. Other than that, these guys are not trying to give you the damn fights that you want to see. He could have fought Terrance Bud Crawford. Just like he said, Terrance Bud Crawford never wanted to fight. Blase Splee, you said on TV that I was the toughest opponent. Blase Splee. Well, you also said on TV that you're not interested in fighting Terrance Bud Crawford. There's nothing that they can do to make you interested in a Terrance Bud Crawford fight. Now you're sitting up here asking like you wanted nothing but a Terrance Bud Crawford fight because he's a check chaser, just like Danny Swift Garcia is a check chaser. You know, and you know, they're prize fighters, which is nothing wrong with it. But the only time you see Danny want to make a move, the only time you see Keith Thurman want to make a move, it's only involved in money. So I don't want to hear about what somebody is not and this, that, and the third. You just lost to Pacquiao, bro. It ain't no getting around that. And it ain't no guarantee that you would have beat Spence because we know that Spence loved going to that body, and the way that Spence is a heat-sinking missile, you might have outboxed Spence. You might have been tagging Spence all night. But one thing that I seen with Spence in that Crawford fight, regardless of the ass whooping that Spence was taking, Spence was like Michael Myers. He kept coming forward. And eventually he'd he'd have done the same thing to Keith Thurman, but the difference is he'd eventually overpowered Keith Thurman. It's only so much running, it's almost so much lateral movement Keith Thurman's gonna have to do, because if that, he's gonna have to be on his bike all night. And then in return, that ain't gonna give him the kind of performance that he's gonna warrant the kind of win over Errol Spence anyway. So people gonna be, bitching about his performance. They're gonna say he ran everywhere. But the bottom line is, if you was ever interested in the man, why do we have you on tape at a period of time talking about you're not interested in him? What has changed? What has changed is the position that Terrance Bud Crawford is in. The fact that he's the money man now. The fact he is the one. The fact that he is calling the shots. Now you're interested in him. Now you want to fight him. And now you're going to try to use the media and casual dumbasses to get on your side to try to discredit him and say what he's not and say what he ain't done and he ain't did this and this, that, and the third. You sound just like what the people sounded like when they was trying to get you to fight Errol Spence. You ain't fought nobody. Keith Thurman, you just over there sitting on your hands. We got my man Errol Spence right here. You was acting like you was too high and mighty. You was talking all philosophical, this, that, and the third. You was coming down with all these genius reasons why you don't need to do this, that, and the third, and people pegged you as clogging up the damn division. So how dare you come back around and open your mouth about somebody, about Terrance Bud Crawford, somebody who has been putting in the work, giving us the fights that we want to see, at least trying to fight the people that we want to see, and not shying away from no work. You have been the total opposite of that. So for Keith Thurman to turn around and open his mouth to try to do something to discredit this man, especially when you didn't want no smoke with him, and as long as there wasn't no dollar signs behind his name, Keith Thurman, respectfully, shut your ass up. You went from being one of my favorite fighters to one of the most annoying Karens in boxing. I just hate the way you bitch and whine now. You know what I'm saying? You used to be that guy. You're not that guy no more.
I knew, first off, Crawford beat Jeff Horn from the southpaw position when he could have beat him in 4 rounds from the right-handed position. He played with that. Okay? He played with that.